Namaste and welcome to our channel. So today we will be discussing with our guest about what is role of nutritionist in our day-to-day life and what are the myths we can get rid of in our daily life. So let's welcome Mrs. Matheen. Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
So, ma'am, I heard in recent interviews, one of the celebrity, I don't want to name him on the video, but in the recent interview, he said like whenever we have a shoot and whenever there is a requirement for us to have a six pack only, I follow certain kind of diet. Post that, I rest myself because maintaining six pack is not an easiest task on this world. So, what is your opinion, ma'am? Like, even if normal general working guy wants to make a six pack and wants to maintain it, is it the same thing that we need to do? Like, we should be on and off, like how many days we need to have a fixed diet and how many days we can break the diet, so how it is structured on a normal condition basis, just let us know, ma'am.
Yeah. So the lifestyle of a celebrity is very, very different. So they have people who take care of their daily needs, whether it is food, whether it is exercise, whether it is their appointments, whatever. So if you're a normal working professional, you do not need to do it, first of all. But if it is your passion. Supposing you want to do it for a particular reason, you want to look good, or you have some particular purpose that you want to do a six pack for. Okay, go ahead and do it. But it is not going to be sustainable in the long run. How many days can you maintain a six pack? How many months can you maintain a six pack? It's not never going to be continuous because you're not a celebrity. Sorry, but you're not a celebrity. So it is going to be very, very difficult for you to make sure that all your needs are met. If you're a celebrity, you will have people managing each and every gram of food that you are taking in, whether it is carbohydrate, protein, fat, whatever it is. And you will be counting the number of supplements that you're taking for maintaining the six pack. It doesn't come just like that. You need to put on so many hours of rigorous muscle training, strength training. You need to hit the gym. You also need to work out. Six pack doesn't come just by eating supplementation. You also have to work out in the gym for long hours continuously. And that is not going to be practical in the long run for a normal working professional. But if you're going to do it for a short term, go ahead, you can do it. But my advice is, after you are done with it, please get back to your normal routine, because that's not going to be practical for you to maintain it.
Ma'am, another question with IT employees in the market, huge number of people will be saying like whenever someone recommends for them to hit the gym or do some exercise, they often say this statement is often heard from the IT professionals. Like they say, we are taking the stairs up and down. We go up by 5 floors, we come down by 5 floors during the lunch time and all those things. So, and some people even say in the social media, we heard several doctors and orthopedicians even suggesting not to take stairs. So, what is this confusion, ma'am? Like, just clarify on this thing, like whether to take the staircase or not.
Okay. So, see, what happens is, if it is a person who has been doing some kind of activity, for example, let us say as a child you were into football, or you were playing basketball, or you were doing some kind of sports in school, which continued in college, and then you started a job. In that case, those people will not have a problem even if they continue taking the stairs regularly. But if you're somebody who's just going to take the stairs because you want to make sure that you maintain your physical activity, or you're counting it as exercise, then those people will end up with knee pains, joint pains, because they are never used to exercise. And suddenly, if they start doing it on a regular basis, you're going to be injuring your knees. So that is the reason those people should not be doing it if they're having any kind of a pain. But on the other hand, if it is something that you enjoy, if you're able to do it without any kind of pain, please go ahead and do it. But again, not every day. I would say probably thrice a week or something, and also do it at a pace which is comfortable to you. You should not climb the stairs so fast that you're out of breath by the time you reach the top floor. And at the same time, when you come down also, don't also come down very quickly so that you lose your balance and you fall and injure yourself.
Okay, ma'am. So coming to a normal person, mostly IT professionals, because we see people go and check in into the office and they sit in front of the systems. So people say you need to take a break every hour. but that is not possible even with you in your clinic. If someone comes to you and says, ma'am, you are taking care of the patients for last 1 hour, so please have a walk, then the outside patients will have a problem with your clinic, like this ma'am is taking frequent intervals.
Right.
So how to cope up with this issue? Because many ask, like, we don't have that system where we can uh, keep an alarm and say that, okay, 1 hour I'm working or 2 hours I'm working, I'll go for a
Right.
stroll in the park.
Right.
Even though they are so beautiful premises where the IT workers work, but often the premises is unused because most of the time we need to sit in front of the system. And this is somewhat which I speak from my personal experience where I worked in IT firm. So how to come up with this solution, ma'am?
Right. So for people who have a sedentary job, which means you're at the desk most of the time, whether it's an IT professional or anybody else who spends long hours at the desk, so the ideal thing is at least every 45 minutes to get up and stretch your arms, stretch your hands, stretch your legs. At least get up and stretch all that, and turn your head from side to side and move your neck from side to side, at least that, and shrug your shoulders. That will also help every 45 minutes. And if you are able to take a break, at least you can walk to the washroom. Now, for that, I have an idea. If you make sure that you drink a lot of water when you're at your desk, that will compel you to walk, get up, and go to the washroom. So, at least every 2.5 hours or 3 hours, at least 2.5 to 3 hours, you will get up, you'll feel the urge, you'll walk to the washroom, and you can spend at least 5-10 minutes, go to the washroom, and come back. That way, at least a little bit of movement will be there. The ideal situation will be that if you can have at least 40 to 45 minutes of walking on a daily basis. That means when you start walking, you should stop only after 45 minutes. Don't say you will walk 15 minutes and then you'll walk again 15 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes in the night. That doesn't have too much of an effect compared to if you start walking and then you end your walk after 45 minutes. That can be any time of the day. It doesn't have to be in the morning, doesn't have to be in the night after dinner, anytime, whenever you have the time. It can even be after lunch, but not immediately after lunch. After lunch, you should sit down for at least 10 minutes and then you can go for a walk, and make sure it is a proper walk. It should not be like you're on your mobile and you're strolling. It should be a proper walk in which you lift your legs. That's the actual walk, not just shuffling through.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. So another point while we discuss on the health issue, so what is a normal person's day-to-day routine? Like, what should be the ideal time for exercise? It might be yoga. Is yoga suggested in that, or is gym better over to yoga, or is it on the body type? And then people say drink 5 liters of water,
Yeah.
drink 6 liters of water, but 5 liters of water with a very short person might be very heavy on him. So, what do you suggest, ma'am?
Yeah. See, on an average, the human body requires 1.5 liters of water only. For
Okay.
the day to day function of the body, 1.5 liters is enough. But because we are living in a country which is slightly hotter compared to other countries, I would safely say for a lady, she should have at least 3 liters of water every day. And for a gentleman, 3.5 to 4 liters of water every day. And when I say water, I'm not counting soft drinks, I'm not counting tea and coffee, I'm not even counting coconut water and buttermilk. When I say water, I mean plain water, not soda, not aerated water, not carbonated water. So, this is the quantity of water which is required on an average. Now, coming to the activity, any activity that a person likes or enjoys is good enough. It can be a single activity like walking, running, jogging, whatever they're comfortable with, or if they like group activities like dance or yoga class or something, whatever it is which makes the person motivated. Now, consistency is important. It's not like you join a class and you go for one day and the next day onwards you're so tired that you're not able to go. Well, I know a lot of people who join a gym or they join some kind of a workout class in which they go very enthusiastically. The first day, second day, they're okay. Third day, they're okay. By the time they finish the fifth day, their total energy level is down. They're not able to continue. That is because they're so tired, they're not able to go about the daily routine. I know a lot of housewives who join, various classes, various workouts, and sometimes the trainer gives them such high intensity exercise They're not able to come back and do the regular routine work at home. They're so tired, they just lie down. They're not even able to cook for the child when the child is coming back from school. I'm just trying to give you an example. Yeah. So don't stick with any particular routine. And also, when you're talking about whatever fads are there, a lot of myths and fads around. You must have heard this myth that potatoes will make you fat. Yes. Now, I did a short video in somewhere in one of my platforms, in which I mentioned that don't blame the poor potato. It's the way in which you present the potato which is not good. If you cook the potato like in the form of a curry, like a sabzi or a vegetable stew or something like that, or you mix it with other vegetables and you cook it, it's absolutely fine. If you cut up the potato, make it into French fries, you deep fry it, make it put into potato chips, that is bad because it is absorbing all the oil. So don't blame the poor potato. It is the form in which the potato is cooked. So various myths are there, and also eating sugar will make you fat. Gluten is not good. All these myths you must have heard. So gluten, they say it's not good for everybody. It's not so. It doesn't suit certain people, so those people should avoid it. But otherwise, gluten itself is a kind of protein. It's a protein found in wheat. So all proteins are good for the body because proteins are the ones which contain amino acids, which allow the cells to regenerate, which allow tissue growth, which allow cell repair.
So, ma'am, coming to this, nowadays we have lots of gadgets. Sorry, I don't have a watch on my hand, but people are having Apple watches and so many gadgets which count their steps. Now, the generation had moved so fast in the society that people are now having a panic attacks because they are not able to reach that 10,000 steps in a day. So what you said, like earlier you just mentioned, like we need to do a continuous process. If we are doing exercise, do it for 45 minutes, should not break it like you do for 15 minutes and then break it and then do. We don't have that result is what you mentioned. So what is this 10,000 step fundament? Because everyone has a competition, and I find some families where people are literally, mother father are having competition, like today I finished 12,000 steps, did you finish your steps? What is this anxiety all about, and what is this? Is it only a promotion based to sell their watches and gadgets, or does that really make sense in our human life?
Well, if you go back to long back when we all had our forefathers working as farmers. Yeah. I'll go back to that example. When we had our forefathers working as farmers, they were not into IT companies, or they did not have desk jobs and all that. Long, long ago, everybody had to walk, whether they like it or not, any kind of work that they did. Even if they are working in an office, they had to walk a long distance, or I think long ago they used to have a cycle or what, I don't know. So what I'm trying to say is they had a long term approach to activity, in the sense they had to do it consistently, whether they like it or not. That is what kept them fit. Unfortunately, the lifestyle nowadays has changed so much that people do not get up for anything. You have remotes to switch on TV. You won't even have remotes for air conditioners. You even have remotes for fans also, right? So yes. You have remotes for opening doors, closing doors. You have remotes for raising the curtain, lowering the curtain, so many things. Everything is remote control. So very, very less activity. Now coming back to this 10,000 steps. So don't look at the 10,000 steps. Look at how much time you're investing. If you're starting, note the time. You finish your walking after 45 minutes. That is what is important. Do not count the steps. Do not see how much distance you have covered. That is not important. The consistency and the time, the amount of time you have spent on the activity, that is important. Don't go by the number of steps. People have been taking steps all the time. You take this one step towards changing your lifestyle, and that will help you.
So it's better to switch off your gadgets from today and have a free life instead of getting that anxiety yes. At the end of the day, like we did not complete 10,000 steps for whatever reason it might be. So now coming to a typical person's lifestyle, ma'am, what do you suggest a healthy lifestyle? What should be the proportionate? You already mentioned like fitness for 45 minutes. Other than the fitness part, is there anything that a common man should follow to keep himself or herself healthy?
Yes. So basically, you should have enough sleep, spend some time for exercise, and eat well. When I say sleep, people generally ask me how many hours of sleep is required. Some people, you may have heard, some people say 10 hours, 12 hours, all that. But I would say if you have 6 hours of undisturbed sleep, which means you are sleeping continuously for 6 hours, that is enough for you. Which means you should not get up in the middle of the night, or whenever you're sleeping, you should not get up in the middle. So if you're sleeping and you wake up after 6 hours without any disturbance, that is good. Otherwise, maximum of 8 hours is absolutely fine. 10 hours, 12 hours of sleep is not required. And if you're talking about the water intake, like I mentioned earlier, 3 liters for a female and 3.5 liters to 4 liters for a male. I'm talking about the Indian context. So it depends on which part of the world you're in. If you're living in a country which is very cold, you may not require so much of water, but it is still important for you to drink at least 2.5 liters for you to maintain your body's metabolism. Otherwise, your body functions will not work. And talking about food, you should make sure that you eat food from all the 5 food groups. There are a lot of people who want to pay attention to the kind of food they're eating. And they say, oh, I did not include carbohydrates, I did not include protein in this meal, I did not include fat in this meal. Don't get so hyper and so hyped about it. It is enough if you, on a daily basis, if you can spread it out, you split carbohydrates, proteins, and fats so that you have enough to maintain it throughout the day. Or if you're talking about the various food groups, there are 5 basic food groups. The first group is cereals, which make up carbohydrate. Second group is protein foods, all the dals, all the legumes, all meats come under this group. Third group is fruits and green leaf vegetables. Fourth group is all the other kind of vegetables, and fifth is fats and oils. So if you combine all these 5 food groups, you don't have to have all the 5 food groups in one single day. You can spread them so that you are able to cover all these 5 food groups over a period of 3 days or 5 days. That should do. You don't have to sit and calculate that, oh, I have to have this much every single day. And we also talk about portion size. Everybody is so anxious nowadays. There's so much stress out there nowadays, like measuring and weighing the quantity of food that people are eating. They're weighing raw food, they're weighing cooked food. Oh, I'm not supposed to eat so many grams. I say God has given you the best weighing scale, your hand. So if you're looking at the Indian context, this is the size of the roti that an adult should be having. So depending on whether you're male or female and how many grams of protein you're allowed in a day, so you can calculate how many portions of rotis that you can have. This is the amount of cooked carbohydrates that you should have, whether it is rice, whether it is pasta, whether it is ragi, jowar, whatever it is that you are used to. And this is also the amount of dal that you should have. Talking about meat, the inside of your palm, this is the size of the meat that you should eat, whether it's fish, chicken, or mutton that you're eating, and this is the thickness. Do not go beyond that. And this is the amount of fat that you should be having in a single day. This is the size of a fruit that you should be having every single day. This is, I'm talking about the adult Indian. I'm not talking about youngsters, I'm not talking about older people. I'm talking on a general basis. Of course, there may be some variations depending on the age, depending if they have some kind of a disease condition, whatever.
Yeah.